enemy's movements. Like he's really good at that.
Yeah.
Now TNC, they obviously lost against OG, and we already talked a bit about that, about how it's not the worst thing in the world, and they did look very good, especially in the first game that they had against OG. Now the second game that they had against OG wasn't really that good, and it seemed like both issues that they had with both the games was not even focused on play, because the play was really solid, but mostly for draft. They seem to have a bit of an issue sometimes finding the right draft.
The second game was a result of the first game. It was heavily influenced by the first game. They felt like there was something wrong in the first game in terms of the draft, and they swapped their pick order a little bit to try and deal with what the opponent is doing. Obviously, you're drafting against OG. It's very difficult to draft against them because they play so many things. So they tried to adjust, and they had a... I remember they had a very weird opening. What was it? Nyx plus something. Nyx, they picked Nyx in the Nyx Invoker, was it? They picked Nyx in the first phase, and it got heavily countered. And Nyx wasn't good against whatever OG picked, because they picked Nyx so early. OG could just react to it.
And then they went to put support. Then Tim's was to play Nyx Assassin.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. That was that one where it's like they
tried to
we were
adjust
very
from the first
confused on
game.
it. That's right. Yeah. I was like trying to remember. I'm like, wait. And then you mentioned the Nyx, and I was like, oh yeah, it's the one where they just picked the Nyx, and we're like, whoa.
Yeah, whoa. What does the, we were like, what does the Nyx do?
There's nothing he's countering, and then they just didn't pick anything that even mattered for the Nyx. So, hopping into the draft though now. So we do have the Nyx is banned though, so they don't want to play against the aggression.
Banned.
Look at that
That
respect
is
ban
some
for
respect.
dogfight.
Yeah.
Get that Ricky out of here. Winter, you think that hero's garbage? First phased ban. How do you feel about that, bad boy?
I still think the hero is shit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well.
Okay.
But he can be obnoxious though, right? Like if you don't want to play against that type of style,
you have
and
to
you
play
want to
the hero so well
Yeah.
for the hero to be worth it.
But that's what dogfights do.
That's what we learned. He plays it well enough. Darkseer are going to be banned as well.
Darkseer banned.
And
We have
Sand
not
King,
seen a crazy amount of Darkseer. We saw what one.
Sure. A lot of people are saying that heavy nerfs to Darkseer,
Oh,
right?
nice.
They gave him the Earth Spirit.
They got
so.
Team's Earth Spirit.
So that's probably very intentional, right? They want to give up the Lone Druid and they want to get a trade-off. So they do have the Slardar, Lone Druid, the Earth Spirits there. They take the Slardar.
Oh my god, they get.
And
so
they
it's
also
off-lane Slardar. I kind of feel like this opening gives away a lot of information to the opponent, despite picking two very solid heroes. But you're giving away the fact that your Slardar is going to be off-lane, and obviously Earth Spirit is going to be your roaming support. So everything is already set in stone.
What would you prefer to pick though, right? Would you want to reveal another support?
But then again, thinking about the games yesterday where Wings open with Panda and Invoker, you give away two of your core heroes, but it doesn't matter because the heroes are good.
Yeah, you just put it out there.
Oh,
and,
you can't cite that though. That
I
was
mean,
a
the
special
combo,
strat.
yeah, that was
Yeah, that's the
unbelievable.
alacrity on the Earth Panda.
Yes. That was a cheese strat. You can't
fine,
cite that as...
fine.
Okay.
That was super
was
clever.
different.
Super clever.
All right, so we're going to see the Lone Druid picked out first. Of course, the top tier in Dota right now. And Rubik.
The pick that gives away nothing.
Yeah.
Do you like that though? Do you just like a Rubik? I would have.
I don't know. I'm not
like a
a
Dazzle or
fan of
something like-
Rubik being picked up early when you don't have good spells to seal. But a lot of teams, a lot of the captains like to do it because it makes it easy for you to draft. It makes it that you can save some of your draft time if you're not sure what you want and you want to pick something that doesn't reveal anything, and it's going to be easy for you to fit Rubik in a lot of lineups.
Yeah, it leaves it very open, and instant disable is always great.
Yeah.
But yeah, the spell stealing thing is Earth Spirit. You get horrible spells. Slardar though, you get
Slardar's
three
decent,
very good spells. I would say all of them are very good.
Is Sprint that good?
Yeah,
it's
movement
great.
speed.
Dude,
Movement speed
do
on
you even
support
play
heroes.
support?
Oh, yeah.
Do you
Movement
even
speed is
play
everything.
support?
Take it
Yeah.
easy. I know.
Are you serious?
Are you serious? You idiot.
All right,
Die.
wow, guys, calm down. We're friendly here.
What about, okay, hold on.
I'm sorry.
Greater Bash, though. The Slardar Bash. That can't be that good on Rubik, can
You
it?
can't steal it, dude.
You can't
Can't
steal
steal a
bash.
passive,
I'm
dude.
just kidding.
That would be amazing though.
That
Range
would be
bash.
good.
Oh, help. I would,
Ranged Bash, oh, jeez.
dude, I would want to steal Slug's Essence Shift. I don't
Oh,
wanna
yeah, that'd be a
bash.
good passive to Jack.
But how does the game decide when you steal something? When you steal that?
Okay,
After you
whatever.
just bash?
Back to the draft, guys.
So they banned the sniper since they have the Lone Druid. They don't, they're just the sniper matchup.
All
But
right.
is Sniper really that good against Lone Druid? I still think Face Rush heroes are better against Lone Druid.
But with Earth Spirit and Slardar though, Earth Spirit sniper mid lane, it's a lot of pressure you can put.
That's true. Spirit Sniper. Very, very difficult. But then again, your Lone Druid is not exactly going mid. You can always put him in the safe lane.
Oh yeah.
And it looks like TNC is expecting that they ban out the Shadow Fiend just in case. Does it say anything about what mid they might want to go for in this one?
When you have a Slardar Earth Spirit, it's difficult though because Slardar Earth Spirit, yes, Slardar, you don't really want to go into heavy 5-man like games, you want to be able to split the opponents because you have sprint. You get around the map very quickly, so you have a lot of opportunities to pick people off. So ideally, you want to play split push, catch. That's what you want to do. So you don't want to go up against heavy 5-man. Maybe that's the idea behind the Shadow Fiend. Since the enemy already has Lone Druid, so Lone Druid plus Shadow Fiend could be very difficult for them to deal with.
So what does that say about mid?
Yeah, but Earth Spirit on the other hand, he can do both. He can go for the catch game, or he can go for the 5-man game.
They probably don't want to reveal their mid laner, right? They probably just pick something like standard, like a Jug or something. I know they love the hero. It's could be like kind of a deny pick in a way.
Jug against Ember. And Cuckoo likes to play Queen of Pain, like the Dragon, like the more unconventional mid heroes.
Yeah.
This game, because of the Slada, I might lean a little towards maybe TA.
Okay, so they're leaving their carry in their mid for the last 2 pickups.
CM, so they might want heroes that use the mana. Like when you pick CM, you always want to abuse the fact that the aura is there, and a hero that can use the aura well is something that you want to go for. Just the standard Lone Druid stuff. You pick tanky, off-lane tanky cores in front, so you are the mid shields for the sniper to shoot them down from far range.
Centaur is pretty good versus Slardar. I mean, in the be able to disengage, but then later stages, you know, because Slardar is initially you want to jump on someone and burst them when they have the Aghanims. Yeah.
Yes, the mana for Weaver.
They get the mana for the Weaver, and
minus
like you
armor.
mentioned a lot, they have a lot of minus armor, and then the Weaver being able to get to the back lines, get on top of the Lone Druid.
We've been talking a lot about that, but we haven't seen it in action yet. The Weaver being able to get back there and put a lot of pressure on Lone Druid.
But if you look at the overall composition of TNC right now, they're super mobile. Earth Spirit with the rolling boulder, sprint, Shukushi. So they're going to be trying to always run around, split the opponents up, and trying to get pickoffs. Their last pick, probably they are going to require some wave clear. They don't really have much wave clear. For iG.Vitality, they're trying to just build a draft around the Lone Druid. So I kind of expect them maybe to have more team fight heroes, more beefy heroes to protect the Lone Druid. And the Weaver is going to make the Rubik happy, obviously. Rubik's always going to be happy when there's a Weaver in the pool.
Oh, yeah? Probably wanting to save the mid laner still. So IG probably want to grab their second support here. Something that's very good versus Earth Spirit and Weaver could be the Disruptor, if it's something they consider.
Yeah, possibly.
But Disruptor Rubik sounds a little bit...
I actually personally like Chen, but I have no idea if this in place Chen, so I don't know. Yeah, like I remember, was it OG's?
Okay, wow, there you go.
I remember OG's lineup. Was it like similar? They picked. I remember there was a Centaur, Lone Druid, and Chen. Was it?
Damn.
Something similar. Yeah, because they want to go 5-man, and you want to be able to do well in your lanes against the Slada, Earth Spirit, but CM is really good against Chen, I have to say that. The CM is going to be able to negate the Chen ganks early with the bite, because your creep is just basically dead.
It's a godly call.
The mid hero that OG
really
had
good.
with that was a Templar Assassin.
Yeah, you mean with for IG's lineup, right?
Yeah, that was the one that OG did because they had the Warlock instead of the Rubik, but other than that,
so they ban out the Juggernaut
They
to
could be
remove the
looking-
healing ward for the 5-man.
So they could be looking at Ember, right? Maybe?
You mean IG.Vitality?
No, TNC, right?
Maybe, but for IG.Vitality right now, they're looking for like a 5-man hero. Something with ideally a bit of wave clear. I mean, they do have a lot of wave clear already with the Rubik and Centaur. These two heroes clears out lanes pretty quickly. Replacement for Shadow Fiends, I would consider maybe OD, kind of like a replacement. OD likes a 5-man. Or something like a Dragonite. Dragonite is pretty good against the minus armor because you have a lot of armor. I could consider that. Dragonite gives you another stun. So overall, the hero gives you a lot of utility.
Yeah, it works well. Synergizes well with the Chen Lone Druid.
And more importantly,
Rubik.
it's a tank for the Lone Druid, so it's a distraction in the front line. That's what you want when you drafted a Lone Druid.
Well, they are taking their time. They do ban out the Ember Spirit.
Yeah.
Nice call.
It's like that's like the way TNC thinks, right? Like the Jug is very good versus the Ember, so
that's
and
the
it's very good
Invoker,
versus for IG's
It's
lineup.
the Invoker, right? Invoker could fit well with their lineup.
For,
for IG.Vitality,
yeah.
because they have the Centaur plus the Rubik lift. Two good setups for Sunstrike. Alacrity could be good on Lone Druid.
Would be a good deny pick too, huh?
Yeah, but the issue I can foresee if you pick an Invoker is your laning phase, because Earth Spirit will be roaming. So Invoker doesn't do very well against a roamer.
Right.
So he might have to ask for backup from the Chen, like maybe send a creep to help him out in the early stage.
10 seconds
Possible
remaining.
if they pick Invoker.
Yeah, we've seen that before.
Slark.
Slocky Malaki.
So Lone Druid
Alright.
mid.
Okay, that's a lone druid mid.
TNC's turn to pick.
They are leaning towards more like a hero that can survive against the Slaughter.
And Slark's not that bad against Weaver either. I mean,
That's
Yeah,
like
Hard to
no?
say though. I think both ways though, because Weaver can chase down a Slug, but at the same time, Slug
5 seconds
with the
remaining.
Shadow Dance is also very difficult for them to focus. But they do have the Earth Spirit. I think Earth Spirit is pretty decent against Slug.
Reserved
how do you
time.
feel about that, the Slark pick?
I'm not
though?
sure though. The Slug is it's sort of like a in-between pick.
Do you think it's like a contingency plan? Like,
Yeah,
okay, so
it
like if
gives
we don't
them-
have the, if our pushes don't go well, we at least have like the Lone Druid and the Slark to back up on it.
Yeah,
right?
I said they need wave clear, so Slug gives them wave clear, but at the same time it gives them a plan B. If it goes
Yeah.
late, we have Slug and Lone Druid, we're not going to be worried. It tells me two things. One, they either want a contingency plan, or two, they are not confident with the early game push, because this might be something that they're not accustomed to. So I'm
I
not
kind of
very
like
sure.
that though. A lot of teams really go all in on that early game Chen push, and then if that doesn't
But
go
then
through,
again,
they
you
lose.
look at Lone Druid. Lone Druid is also late game.
Sure. So they're
And
covering their bases here.
Centaur is good late game with Axe.
You saying that?
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. If plan A doesn't work, IG got plan B. We're
So
sticking with it.
Good matchups versus the Lone Druid and the fit TNC's lineup.
So what is TNC gonna pick against Lone Druid mid?
10 seconds remaining.
It's not a lot of heroes that do well against Lone Druid mid though.
5 seconds
That
remaining.
will
Oh,
be
this
a
hero
check.
does well. Yeah.
Okay.
Timber owns Lone Druid because you have reactive armor.
And it's very
And-
good versus
I mean, not
Slark.
exactly own, but you don't really care about his harass because you have the reactive armor and the root. The root is physical.
And incredibly good versus Slark, and you have Crystal Maiden to amplify yourself a lot as well.
Yeah.
So is this enough to beat iG.Vitality, or is iG.Vitality? Because I kind of like their draft.
I don't like the last pick.
I don't like the Slark.
I don't like the
like
Slark.
Slark.
So
I'm-
TNC for you.
Yeah.
I'm
For you.
TNC. They got their Earth Spirit.
You
I-
seem like you like
I
the
really
slap,
don't feel like I
so
can go
yeah.
against that.
I kind of like the Slark. I like teams that have contingency plans. I'm more confident in TNC's draft, but just for the sake of it, I'm going to go with IG because I like Slark. He's a fun little fish.
A fun little fish. Great. We are going to find out what our commentators have to say about this first game of the day. They're going to set the tone. It is Odie Pixel and Gods.
Thank you very much, Steve. Indeed, we're getting ready for the first match of the day here at the StarSeries Season 3. I'm Odie, I'm here with Gods. We've just seen the drafts. Slark again, I mean, I don't think this was... Was this a hero you were expecting to see, 3 times already here at this LAN? And teams are loving it.
He may be here or there, but 3 times, considering we're once a day, seems like a decent amount. This game was, I think, similar to what Winter said, a bit of a surprise Slark pick when they've got the Chen, the Lone Druid they want to push. So, see how it works. Maybe a bit of a comfort here for iG.V, but TNC have a very aggressive mid-game draft with the physical damage to Slaughter Weaver. The Timbersaw, I think, is a really nice pick as well. Gives them a lot of burst damage to deal with the Slark through the Shadow Dance. They can deal with the Lone Druid pretty nicely. You can actually get to him with the Timber Chain. So I think this is a very, very good and scary Timbersaw game. So if Cuckoo does well on Timbersaw, he could just take control.
Well, we should be able to get the game back underway. There was just a short pause. Sorry there, ladies and gentlemen, as we get ourselves stuck into this one. TNC versus iG.V, fighting to stay here in the competition. And lane-wise, do you expect the side lanes? Are we going to see anyone try and dodge anything from the other side, with these final picks in mind?
Well, early TP's out. We'll see the Scout from Raven seeing dogfights. Probably pretty standard. I don't think there's much you can do with the dodging like the Timbersaw 1v1 matchup. Like Lone Druid's going to be 1v1 there.
You can't really move that.
Can't really
No.
move that. Not like Lone Druid. Lone Druid's still going to get farm. He's just not
Yeah.
going to be able to win the lane, which is something he does against a lot of heroes because he's got the Spirit Bear to help him last hit. But TNC want to get to an early good start with this smoke move of theirs. They haven't been scouted from the high ground.
Yeah,
Once
they
they get
could
to
get
the
a
high
good-
ground,
yeah,
you
this-
can't pop the smoke. This is looking possible for them.
Super and in July over on the other high ground here.
Sakata is going to be blocking and grabbing the room with his bear, so we'll see what the play is going to be. Whether they go in for the bounty room, whether they try to kill like the Lone Druid mid during his creep block, or if they try to get the heroes up top. For now, they go for the bear. They're going to try to zone this bear out and sweep through, prevent that Lone Druid from getting a bounty rune if possible.
And it looks like they will just be able to do that, man, as we'll check in on the bounty cams. Oh, they get the bear back in.
Yep.
So it looks like both teams will just be able to claim their own runes there.
Interesting that TNC don't really contest the runes. They get their rune very late. Raven will head down to get it. And you get kind of asked about what do you do with the lanes for TNC? Do they mix it up? And they are going to aggro lane. They put the Weaver down bottom with the Crystal Maiden. I didn't expect this just because CM is typically a hero you don't want to go aggro trialing with. It's quite weak. Only has 2 tangos on herself, and she just struggles in aggro lane. She's very squishy, low movement speed, typically wants to get points in the aura early and just even jungle a fast level 2. So this is not really like a laning setup that a Crystal Maiden particularly likes.
I mean, do you feel this is just because they're scared of the Slark getting that free farm at the early stages of the game?
Yeah, definitely. The Slark, one of his big weaknesses is his laning stage. If you can take advantage of that, it definitely plays to your advantage. So talk about the CM being bad in lane, same thing applies for the Slark. Very bad against aggro lanes. And CM is actually able to go for an early jungle, take a big creep out, almost has level 2 through the jungle. So isn't necessarily, for now, a big issue. With a 3v2 lane, this is fine for CM. If it turns into a 3v3, that's where it gets a bit trickier.
Tims, just keeping eyes on dogfights here and trying to get what they can here from the pull made by iG.V.
Still last hit, get the Arcane Aura up, and the Chen will have to perhaps make an early move down towards this bottom lane if they want to try and secure it. No real kill potential mid on Timbersaw unless he gets exceptionally low, but that would take at least a double creep like an Ensnare into a Centaur stun or some kind of 2 creep combo with some good kill potential.
Well, they are going to make a bit of a go here onto Dogfights here leading in. They will find him with the root. Dogfights being brought down low. Tries to back himself away, but with the vision from the bug and the final touch coming through from the CM, Raven is able to pick up first blood. As already the aggressive tri-lane of TNC after a great start. Indeed, as you said, they're going to need some sort of extra backup, you know, be it the Chen or whatever, if this kind of pressure is kept up down here.
Yeah. Earth Spirit will probably just stay down bottom. You don't want to run like an aggro duel, like a 2v2 lane, which you're not going to win. You want to make sure this bottom lane is truly won with the Earth Spirit. So possible roams towards mid here or there, but all in all, the game plan is going to be to win this bottom lane. But with a haste room picked up, they can make this move on the lone druid.
Immediately looking for Cicada. Can they find the opening to get in and dive behind the tier 1? They really want to go aggressive. You can see at the moment lone druid trying to scout out any sort of movement here with the bear. In fact, Tims did actually get spotted out by the tower there, I believe. He got touched up, came a little bit too close, so Cicada knows what's up.
The bear gave vision. He was kind of in quote-unquote fog until the Spirit Bear scout from Cicada sees him, so.
Yeah, very, very nice sweep of the area there from Cicada with the bear.
No.
Making sure he doesn't get caught out by TNC.
Did give a little room for this bottom lane to stabilize. Slark is farming just fine. He's
Yeah,
13 CS, so hasn't really been contested, so. Anytime you make a move towards mid lane, it will come at a cost, which is the Slark getting some farm and XP.
Do you think we're going to see anyone come ahead on this top lane? One that we're not yet to really talk about this one, but yeah, mid lane, Cuckoo. He's diving, he's playing very aggressive here, but Cicada just turns, and with Dogfights TPing in with a Fade Bolt, they'll finish him off there. Cuckoo maybe
top lane, meanwhile,
overestimating the hero, and indeed they'll make a go at the same time onto the Slardar. Samh gets the crush off.
Another purge.
I mean, that shield was doing a lot of work, but it's not quite enough. iG.V take a kill up there as well.
Yeah, as you're asking who's going to come out on top lane, I saw the Chen heading up there with 2 creeps in the smoke. I'm like, it's about to go iG.V's way, assuming they don't fumble this gank. They're trying to take advantage of the fact that TNC, it's not so much a greedy move given the Slardar 1v1, but it's an exploitable move. Slardar is very vulnerable to those Chen ganks up there. He has Sprint, which is a pseudo-escape, but there's a Satyr and a Centaur. There's your 2 creep ganking duo that
Bottom
can find
lane,
kills.
they let TNC, they want to go aggressive in return. Paparazzi trying to pounce himself away. Tims looking for the easier kill. Rolls across onto Dogfights. They're hanging around for a long time here, deep behind the tower. They do get the Rubik. Paparazzi as well has to be careful. I mean, there's no backup coming through as the other lanes where iG.V have been putting the pressure on. Paparazzi should be fine here. I mean, TNC, can they actually dive this? I mean, it looks like they're still eyeing it up.
Once he kills the Swarm Beetle, it gets very difficult. You lose that vision tracking, and you also lose that minus armor. So the fact they don't commit with the Swarm makes me, it kind of leads to them not wanting to go too aggressive. Again, we'll see the Chen up top. Does get scouted this time around, so Samh knows what's going on up here, but knowing is only half the battle. Being able to deal with the aggression is the other part of this, and whether or not he knows about Rubik's presence, he does. He's got the Dire Ward up there, so he knows Rubik is also up there and can give word to his team, particularly Kuko in the mid lane, that a potential rotation could be coming his way.
Yeah, Kuko's got to be very careful. They'll actually scan it as well, TNC, so they know exactly what's going on up there. Bottom lane, though, Paparazzi really has it in for himself here with the pressure that TNC's putting through, and again, because iG.V are just focusing elsewhere, they're kind of forgetting about the safe lane.
Yeah, it's tough for them. It's even committing a Chen gank down there. It's a 3v3 where Rubik and Chen going aggressive expose themselves, so you can always get retaliation kills, and that's the nature of Weaver. You couldn't kill the Weaver. You'd really have to go on the CM or the Earth Spirit, and that means Weaver's going to get at least 1 kill, perhaps 2 kills in return. So I kind of like that the Chen is focusing on top, and to a lesser extent mid lane. I feel like top is the easiest lane to gank. Often, the mentality as a Chen player has to be, you look at the 3 lanes and say, which is the guarantee. You go for the low risk, like the low risk kills, like the guaranteed kills. And the Slider at top was definitely the best bet, getting that initial kill. Since then, he's tried again on the Slider, didn't work because of the ward. He's lurked around this mid lane, looking at Timbersaw as the next most likely kill. Bottom lane is just like the low percentage play right now for iG.V. They're better off giving Paparazzi a solo lane to try and get level 6. Problem is, he can't get his level 6. He keeps getting dived.
Absolutely, and he's almost certainly going to get taken down again. TNC just putting in a lot of hate for this Slark at this early game.
Yeah, the game plan works if Slark can just sit there quietly, leech his level 6. He doesn't have to get farm, he just needs levels while they win the other lanes. Top lane is doing okay, but they're not getting the kills on SamH. SamH is doing what Slark should be doing, which is sitting in the trees, leeching XP. Doesn't have a TP to get out of this, so if they scout him out up there, he may be in a bit of trouble, but for now it looks like his presence is unknown to iG.V.
Yeah, iG.V should be able to
He's going to slink his way out
tower,
even.
and that Purge Creep can't quite get in range. So SamH is out and safe. iG.V get the tower. Bottom lane though, TNC will surely be able to claim that tier 1, as it's very, very low at the moment.
Yeah, the Slarks come back in. The Rubik TPing as well. This suggests they want to defend Centaur. Let's say Centaur's the key hero they need. The Stampede, Hoof Stomp. Can they get Raven here? Oh, they bait him in.
They try and go in. We're going to have a bit of a clash on the bottom lane. TP's coming through, and the beautiful reaction from iG.V.
Great bait. And the key thing is there, they TP before the dive happens. You can't react to that aggressive Shikuchi and roll in from Earth Spirit with a TP. You have to be there in advance. The 2 seconds is 2 seconds where TNC get that first kill and perhaps get out of there. So very important for iG.V that they TP before the aggression comes. They know TNC want the tower. They know that they're going to try and do that by getting the kill.
Ooh, mid lane Tims does whiff the combo there. Tried to get an opening onto Cicada. Just a little too speedy down the lane Dread. Interesting as well, looking at the Weaver gods, is this kind of a helm for, an anti-Chen build? Is this the plan? Steal your creeps?
Steal the Chen creeps.
Yeah.
There's,
is that?
The item is just amazing in itself. Like the
For
HP
sure.
regen and attack speed is just wonderful as any carry hero. It's kind of like a substitute ringer. It means he's less likely to go for the Lincolns because part of the benefit of going for the Lincolns is getting that early HP mana regen from the Perseverance.
Yeah,
so
and I guess Lincoln's this game doesn't really do much.
yeah,
I mean,
blocks
a
the
little from
Shikuchi
Rubik.
steal. Yeah, a little from Rubik, but not much from anything else.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would expect a non-Lincoln's build with a helm because you're not getting value from the Hedrus aspect.
Tims with some very nice positioning there, actually catching the smoke attempt from iG.V. TNC will know what's up there. They're still yet to find that tier 1. Fortification will come out. Have to be a little careful here, TNC.
Okay.
And they are...
Get the tower deny.
Yeah, iG.V control it. TNC are still sticking around.
Tims is here with Invis.
Yeah, Cuckoo's coming across as well. They do want to try and fight here, TNC. Tims, who could he set up on? He's going to look towards Super first, try and go for the easier kill. Surrounds the Chen. Silence onto the Slark, but the Stampede comes through. In fact, Super, he's just making a beeline straight for the Crystal Maiden. In fact, he gets it. Does end up going down in return. Paparazzi just goes for the straight up Shadow Dance, TP out, and he'll make it just before Cuckoo can get the damage out.
Yeah, Cuckoo rotates, doesn't get too much, but does still have the TP to get instantly back to this mid lane.
And instantly rooted here as well. I mean, I don't think the damage will quite be... I mean, they could chase it.
He's got 20 reactive armor.
I mean, the crowd is loving it, but I don't think they're getting the kill, iG.V.
I don't think they know what 20 reactive armor does. Double shockwave?
Oh!
Nah. This is 20 reactive armor, Odie. The crowd, they were cheering for the second route, but the second route was not going to be enough.
Cuckoo's A-okay indeed.
Good to hear them come alive here on day 3, though.
For sure, yeah. The crowd is certainly filling up. A lot of fans coming in here to see some good old Dota 2.
Yeah, so SamH on the safe lane Slider. Blink Dagger timing from him is what you kind of look towards. He's been given the safe lane. Has 1,500 gold, which is pretty good. He's going to get there before Centaur, since Centaur stopped off for a hood, which I'm fine with. Centaur's going to farm very fast. He can double edge farm the jungle, the lane. He's very tanky and is out farming the Slider by a big margin so far, but may find a gank coming his way. I don't know if they can actually kill him with these 3 heroes.
hard to get a
1300 HP with a hood. No freezing field. Good luck with that. They'll find an easier kill.
Yeah, in the river, they go immediately onto the Rubik.
Whoa.
They're not actually able to finish him off there. Dogfights, quick bit of telekinesis players able to move in
Yeah,
out.
they did Stampede and Hand of God. So that's Chen and Centaur ultimates on cooldown. That's a 2.5-minute cooldown for Chen. Centaur's much shorter, but perhaps something that TNC can take advantage of.
Mid lane, Cicada trying to finish off this tier 1. TNC will try and chase him down, but don't quite catch him there with the CM. Top lane, back to this 1v1. Samich getting a few punches in onto this Centaur, but indeed he's a big old tanky brute at the moment. 1300 HP, about 10 HP regen a second at the moment. Tim's with a haste down bottom. We'll see if he can set something up. He's got his eyes set on Paparazzi.
What's Raven done? He hasn't picked up. I don't see any creep on him yet with the Helm of the Dominator. Perhaps hasn't found one that he wants.
He's waiting for the chain gang.
Yeah, quite likely.
Well, they're going to make a bit of a go on to Dogfights, but Dogfights, he steals the Shikuchi, turns around with a Fade Bomb. With the help of Paparazzi, they'll look towards the Earth Spirit. Can't quite finish off Tim's. Rio's now turned across, but not the control that they needed to get Paparazzi a Dogfight, so no one ending up going down there.
Yeah, Shikuchi, one of the nicest steals for a Rubik at this stage of the game. Does look like Weaver's going to keep just applying pressure to this bottom lane. Gets a Centaur for now, so perhaps thinking he can go for some more aggressive smoke, wraparound type plays. It looks like he's eyeing off this middle lane. We'll scout things out with that Centaur. Oh, Sakata in trouble here.
It would be a very nice kill to get as well. He's second highest on the net worth, top at the moment for iG.V, but again, Stampede's back off cooldown. He gets himself out. And now they're trying to see if they can catch any of TNC in return. Cicada with the Maelstrom complete, actually. He's got a fair bit of punch. They need a bit more control. They've got the telekinesis onto Cuckoo. But again, this Timbersaw is very tanky at this moment. In fact, Cuckoo wants to fight. Comes in straight away, chopping down the Rubik. And with the help of Raven, they'll look to chase down more. Looking towards Super. The Chakram, a little off the mark, though. Doesn't clip the Chen, so Chen's going to be fine. TNC turn their attention towards Cicada instead, and that's the bigger kill. They'll take it. Doesn't manage to activate the Shrine in time, and with that amount of armor reduction, probably wouldn't have been enough to save him anyway.
Yeah.
So TNC finding 2 kills and getting the big one that they wanted at the start, that Lone Druid.
Really good fight. Using all their cores there. That's the big thing, is they have 3 cores ready to fight. The Slider with the Blink Dagger, the Timbersaw at level 10 offers a lot of damage output. Raven, just a level 11 Weaver, even with just a Blightstone Helm of the Dominator, does a decent amount of damage. They bring all 3 of their cores. Meanwhile, Slug, not really at fault for not rotating in. He's just not ready to fight. So I think TNC doing a good job taking advantage of the fact that their lineup is stronger with their core heroes involved. And this Slider Blink now being online gives them a good tool to use for constant initiations and to apply a big threat to iG.V. In July, once his Blink, that's going to be the counterpart for their team, and he does manage to finish it up top before getting caught out, because there was a rotation, and still is a rotation, headed his way.
I mean, as we said before, it's a hard kill to get, especially with Stampede at the ready again. They need a lot of chain control. Yeah,
oh, they see him though.
They will find him. They will be able to cancel it. He still has that Stampede, but with the root and the armor reduction, even a Centaur's going to melt. As TNC do pick up the kill. But as you said, good news for the Centaur that he was able to purchase that Blink before going down.
Yeah, doesn't lose any money or anything. Does pay the price and doesn't really delay that first gank too much since he wasn't with his team. It just kind of resets things. He likely wants to make a call to kind of smoke up with a teammate or something. Slark's Shadowblade, it looks like, going to be completed at the same time as this Blink. So this is kind of where perhaps iG.V wanted to be, around that mid-fight where they've got fighting. Their cores are now ready to go. Like, if they had the Centaur Blink and the Slark Shadowblade for that mid-fight, Slark could have rotated in, could have tried to go on someone like the Weaver and catch him in the pounce. Similarly, Centaur could have done a Blink stun initiation on a Weaver and then been able to punish him for his aggression. But now they're ready to go, and I think we will be seeing iG.V start defending their towers.
Yeah, very, very clear to see the plan as well. You know, Paparazzi going for that Shadowblade before finishing off the Achilles, just having that casual Sage's Mask for that little bit of mana regen he needs to allow him to maintain the ability to duck and dive out of these fights. Bit of a jump in here, immediately bursting down Cuckoo. As iG can start to the fight here. Can they get themselves anything more? That's the question. Looking to chase down Rio and Raven. Raven a little bit too slippy. TNC, the 4 of them are here.
Oh, they're going to turn?
And, oh, coming in with a Who Stop, but it's a little slow. Holds onto it. Doesn't manage to catch anyone. They'll turn around, try and go in on dogfights. They do take it. Hand of God, not enough to save the Rubik. TNC able to bite back a little bit, but here comes Paparazzi turning up. Turns his focus towards the easy kill. Takes down Rio on the CM. Roll forward from Tims. Great boulder smash onto 2. The silence as well. And Tims, beautiful spirit play there, setting up for Raven to pick up a triple kill in July. Will he make it? Oh! Tims,
So
he
close.
pulled a cracker. He nearly pulled the whole box of them, but he missed that boulder smash at the end.
Yeah. Had to take a gamble there with the guess on that last boulder smash and just was ever so slightly off the mark. But good turnaround from TNC. Losing their Timbersaw, not really the way you want to start that fight, but they used that high ground position well. They dodged the Centaur Blink stun, and between the Tim's Earth Spirit landing all of his boulder smashes and silences, and Weaver hitting everyone in the swarm, that was not a good place to take a fight for iG.V, even with the 5v4 advantage initially. They're going to go into Roche now. They're going to get
Interesting
Aegis.
move from TNC, yeah, going in.
Yeah, they feel confident with the minus armor. They can do this very quickly between the swarm and the amp damage.
Ah, they've got it. I don't think iG.V expected that to happen that quickly.
Yep.
TNC taking the Roche.
Raven starts to become a big problem in these fights now. Level 13 has the Dragon Lance, is going to work towards what looks to be a Maelstrom after this.
A little bit of a different build, really, from the Weaver. A helm into kind of Dragon Lance Maelstrom. You know, much more used to the Lincolns, the Deso. No, even Dragon Lance we don't always see being picked up every time now on Weaver.
Yeah, I mean, Helm's is one of those items that I think is being bought a lot for a good reason on these carries, and I mentioned it's like kind of like a cheaper version of a Lincoln's in that if you don't need the spell block, it does give you the good regen. The Maelstrom is like the, I guess, more question mark item, because typically you will see the Desolator over this. It also gives you better sieging and pushing power. You've got a lot of minus armor already, so you'd think, oh, just get Deso, really take advantage of that. But Raven wants to diversify his damage output, get a bit of magic damage in there, and later on that Mjolnir can also be a strong item.
Mid lane, Cicada's going to get jumped on here by Sam H. The follow through damage, is it going to be enough? He's falling low. They'll try and get him out with the Stampede, and they will. The turnaround's there from iG.V. They come in with a Hoostomp. TNC
Big
incredibly low.
ulti.
And indeed, in the middle of it all, they've lost 2 though, TNC. Paparazzi, can you clean up anything more here? Raven and Cuckoo trying to finish off the bear. They aren't quite able to get it.
Oh, that Lone Druid survives as well. What a turnaround from iG.V, somehow keeping him alive. They do lose their Slark in the process, so end result is a support and an offlane for a carry. TNC still feeling confident that they can hold their own and take a fight.
In fact, they found the Weaver. Have they got enough control to bring him down? Doesn't look like they have. Ishikuchi's ready to turn around, throws the bugs back in. Great magnetize from Tims onto all 4. Look at the follow through, drops another rock in the base. Super falling down low. We'll just keep them away here and push iG.V back up to the high ground.
I'm going to stay around too much longer. iG.V just shrined up, and Slark's about to respawn.
Looking to come in again onto Cuckoo. Cuckoo. Quick with the Timber Chain, but iG.V, they are chasing. Can they get a telekinesis? There's the wrapper of a Paparazzi. In fact, he just jumps straight in onto the Timber. Cuckoo's out. With the telekinesis onto Rio. He's ready to go for more here. Paparazzi shadow dancing. Turns his attention away from the CM, and in fact, Raven was able to get into the back lines, take down the Rubik. There we have Paparazzi jumping back in onto Rio. Takes down CM. Now looking for more. Stampede up again as they back away from Raven. A little too scared of tackling that Weaver. And iG.V trying to do their best to get TNC away from this mid lane and to
very long drawn out
stop
fight.
the push. Yeah, TNC though remaining strong in this position.
Yep. They'll have the fast respawn on Cuckoo with his Bloodstone. That's good and bad news. It means he's lost those charges early. We'll have to look to rebuild them back up, but it does mean it secures him this tier 2 tower. So it allows them to maintain this pressure and fighting style that TNC love to play while they've got an Aegis. So we'll see them back off. Interesting they did give Raven the Aegis. I mean, I feel like if you did give it to someone else, he would have just been the new target. With a Blink Centaur, you could actually engage and kill the Weaver. So he gets ignored because he has Aegis. So if you give Aegis to Timbersaw, it's Timbersaw being ignored. So good decision making from iG.V. Go on the targets who aren't going to have the respawn, ignore the Weaver while he's got an Aegis, and then just try and hold your own, buy time for that Aegis to expire.
Paparazzi as well, going straight for the BKB after the Shadow Blade, and absolutely necessary as well against these, especially in these fights. You know, if you're able to keep him alive just for that little longer, he absolutely revel in these kind of long drawn out fight situations where he's able to get those stacks up.
There's a lot of problem heroes for him between the Earth Spirit, the Timbersaw, Slider Crush even goes through his Shadow Dance. Definitely need the BKB this game. We'll see that complete fairly soon. But while the Aegis is still up for another minute, it looks like TNC are going to try to take another outer tower. So 2 T2 towers off of this, as well as a fairly decent fight for them in mid lane. Definitely a good outcome for them with the Aegis pick up. And Raven has the Maelstrom now, so he becomes an even bigger threat in these fights with his damage output.
13 to 11 at the moment, 20 minutes in. You said, yeah, Raven in a fantastic position. I mean, I'll just be interested to see where he goes kind of from here. I mean, you know, this kind of Maelstrom build-up, is he going to upgrade that into the Mjolnir? Is there anything else you can see him fill up a slot? Because he's starting to run out of spaces, especially with the Aegis in his hand.
Yeah, I'm curious if he even considers going back for the Deso still. An item just giving him some good burst damage against the Lone Druid himself. The upgrade to Mjolnir is really nice to be able to put that on yourself, or even more so your teammates like Timbersaw, who goes engaging in.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, buff not cool.
But as far as your single target damage output, it's on a huge increase. So not sure what he's going to be thinking after this. We'll find out. He's opened up a slot now with the Aegis expiring, so we'll have that ability to pick something new up fairly soon.
TNC at the moment just sweeping through the upper jungle of iG.V, trying to see if they can find something. They'll look for Cicada. They won't find him. They do find the bear, though. And they will be able to get themselves a cheeky 300 there. Raven to pick it up as well. More money to the Weaver's bank.
Yep. Definitely worth taking those whenever you can and see what the response from iG.V is going to be, even with this Aegis down now. Theoretically, that opens things up for them. They've completed the BKB on Slark. There's no more Aegis, but still feels like they're going to struggle in a fight. Lone Druid is just perhaps a bit on the squishier side. There's a lot of good heroes for getting on top of him. With the Weaver able to get to the backline, Slaughter with the if Slaughter gets a Corrosive Haze on this Lone Druid, he's almost got to completely run away and leave the fight because of that, since Weaver can get to him, Earth Spirit can roll to him, Timbersaw can as well. He needs to try and make sure that this Slaughter is dealt with, because one Corrosive Haze on Lone Druid can just ruin his day.
iG.V. in their own jungle at the moment. Actual Blink Dagger purchase from Cuckoo. A little earlier than we're kind of used to seeing Timbersaw's item progression.
Yep.
But I guess, again, just another way of getting to that backline and, you know, getting to the Lone Druid himself.
Yeah, and pairs up well with the Slaughter, since you've got a Blink Initiate. You want to have that instant burst damage follow-up, which is what the Blink Timbersaw can do. Just guarantees a bit more synergy between these two heroes when there's not really that much to begin with, but his Blink gets more powerful because Slaughter has one. Slaughter's gone back for a Midas now, so looking to secure some late game itemization and just make sure he gets some of those levels up to get some of the more talents going. Does look like TNC want to defend bottom. Tim's is set up in the trees here. No further TPs just yet, though, so perhaps Tim's will make the call to let this one go, and yeah, it does look like he's not going to be engaging here.
TNC maybe just see if they can get some sort of a trade on this top lane as they push down.
Oh, wow, they're going to find Tim.
Yeah, oh, does blink out just in time, rolls away.
There's some good Spidey senses to check that spot. They scan up the side as well. I mean, it's become more and more common to just hide in these trees around your side towers if you want to defend them. Maybe you're not defending the tier 1, but you want to defend the tier 2. It's still a good position to be in those trees, so Tim's well played with him. Having the Blink Dagger very early. This is a very high impact item, and they're TPing in now to fight.
Yeah, they're backing off some of them on the side of iG.V. Can TNC actually catch anyone? That's the question.
They've got a Slaughter. They want to. Oh,
Tim's with the boulder smash, finding the big pickoff off the back of that defense.
Yeah. I think it was a blind boulder smash as well. I don't think he even had vision.
It looks to be as well, yeah.
Just a predictive play from him. Missed the one up top, but he'll land that one, and a big kill on the Lone Druid, who's only level 15. This is not the most farmed or leveled Lone Druid. He's number 5 on net worth. His Centaur's out farming him. Yeah, this is not been the easiest game for Lone Druid, and we're kind of seeing a team finally draft around the Lone Druid, it feels.
I mean, he's setting up kill after kill, the catch-outs, the Rubik.
The reason Winter hyped this guy up as one of the best SEA support players, perhaps the best after DJ in that 4-position role.
Yeah, a reason why they pick that Earth Spirit up first if they're allowed to.
Oh, they've got another.
Just that. The momentum that TNC have found there. It's going to be very hard for iG.V to stop. Fortification will come out in the mid lane.
Yep.
TNC hammering into the tier 3. iG.V, they need to pull together some sort of a defense. They'll jump in with a Who Stomp. Paparazzi trying to focus Raven. Raven falling down low, but he has the time lapse. He's going to be fine, gets himself out. Paparazzi, and put the BKB for that one.
Haven't really done much damage with the BKB or picked up any Essence Shift charges, so I mean, not bad with 24 Agi, but not sure if that's going to be enough to scare off TNC here. They're going to back off for the time being. Perhaps
maybe wait for Roche again. I mean,
yeah.
what was it? It's just about a minute. It's very, very short.
Any time in the next 2 minutes. They know it should be respawning soon, and yeah, they'll wait for the Roche. Mjolnir was the go-to for Raven, so he's going to have the static charge to put on a teammate, as well as a level 3 ultimate soon. He's about to break that level 18 mark.
iG.V though realizing that they can't let TNC have this Aegis. They've got to try and fight beforehand. But TNC are ready. They're on the high ground. They know what iG.V's up to. Tims goes in with a boulder smash, catches out two. There's the follow through, blink crush, and the damage from Cuckoo rips through one of them. That's going to be the Rubik out, and Cuckoo's ready to change for more. Tims again in the middle, hits a multi-man magnetize. Paparazzi turns towards Rio. He can't quite finish the kill. Cuckoo comes in, protects the CM, and brings down Paparazzi.
Oh dear.
And TNC are just pulling together some beautiful team play.
Now, looks like they're going to go for mid lane, ignoring the Roche for now.
They want to force out that slot buyback.
Yeah, they'd love to. Slark will have BKB. He didn't have it up in that fight, which was perhaps one of the biggest downsides of that smoke for iG.V. And there's the buyback. TNC can back off and secure Roche now. And for iG.V, you're going to be thinking, how do we stop that Roche from going down? It's not going to necessarily be a free, easy Roche for TNC. They're going to have to set up, get some good position, use their wards, because iG.V losing this Roche could just be losing this game.
A big, big win there for TNC, getting a good, strong lead against iG.V. 6K difference between Raven and Paparazzi at the moment. iG.V, they're going to try and do something about this Roche. They jump in with the Centaur, turn their attention towards the Slider. They brought one down, but again, this boulder smash from Tims, ruining the fight by the looks of it for iG.V. Ravens come in, taken down two, and they're not done yet. Cuckoo blinking forward, looking for Cicada. Stampede will be popped. He's got the Shrine as well, but Tim's still on the hunt. Paparazzi will turn towards it. Tim, finally goes down, but not before allowing them to get the lone Druid kill. TNC again coming out in top in terms of numbers, and they will be able to get into Roshan, pick up the Aegis, and iG.V just struggling to slow down this tide.
Yeah, TNC just well positioned there. They only really have the Weaver in the pit, slowly killing Roshan, and they know that iG.V are likely going to come, and the big thing is there, don't keep killing Roche when they come, just turn and take that fight, use Tim's blink initiation to great effect, and they did so. They lost their Slider very quickly. I think iG.V perhaps had their best approach to a fight yet, bursting down the Slider, preventing that corrosive haze from catching up multiple heroes. Lone Druid didn't get the vision on him, but Tim's on the Earth Spirit again, multiple heroes in the boulder smash, lines everyone up, and just comes up big for TNC. There's a reason this guy's Earth Spirit is banned out more often than not.
Coming up to a 12K net worth lead at the moment here for the side of TNC. iG.V.
Full Skadi for Weaver. That is a big boost in Weaver's stats and general damage output survivability.
I mean, what's the comeback plan here for iG.V? I mean, their cores are really falling behind.
Yeah, there's no big items outside of perhaps the Centaur Ags. It's going to come down to getting some good high ground defenses. Ideally, this is where you look at Chen perhaps trying to turn into that more late game Chen with the Aghanim Scepter, but he just seems really poor right now. So Chen wants to split push the lanes a bit with his creeps. You want to avoid fighting the 5-man TNC lineup except on the high ground defense. So more or less, I'd say, yeah, Chen split push the lanes with creeps, try and farm up the Aghanim Scepter. And then just try and hold your high ground. You're going to need BKBs, so they've got one on the Slark. I think Lone Druid ideally wants one as well, but until they get some BKBs on other cores other than Slark, it's going to be tough for them to take these fights.
And Paparazzi now does have that Silver Edge finished, but still this is looking to be a Slark that's not in a happy place at the moment.
If they can burst down someone like Timbersaw, that'd be fantastic for them. And with the Silver Edge, it's perhaps a bit more feasible since you can prevent that reactive armor from being picked up.
Here onto Weaver, but immediately the reaction for TNC again. The boulder smash, silence onto 3. They've killed one of them. They send the other 2 packing. There'll be a buyback of Centaur. TNC. Are they gonna back or stick around there, and it's such a strong position. Cuckoo indeed just clearing out the wave bottom. iG.V, they need some sort of catch or pick off to allow them to start to have a chance of breaking apart this lineup of TNC. Raven, he just turns his attention towards the bear, rips it to pieces. There'll be a jump in. In July, trying to find the back line of Who Stomps, and they've found one. They have brought down the Slardar. Shrine will be popped, keeping Sakata alive. In fact, with the telekinesis onto Raven, he's out. Aegis is popped. And in July, Blink Who Stomp onto the Timber Saw. They will come out with the Hand of God. Paparazzi pounces away, keeps himself alive with another Shrine.
TNC may have to back off, yeah.
Actually managed to hold here. And in fact, can they chase down more? Cuckoo comes back across. Shikuchi even dogfights, trying to look to set something up potentially. iG.V really want to find more. Who Stomp Double H? They found another. Paparazzi now with a Shadow Dance. A freezing field coming out from Rio on the sidelines. TMs can't quite get it out. Raven, though, he's picked up one. Now he's picked up a second. Takes down the two backline supports of iG.V. He may not be done yet. Will time lapse and look to get himself out of that. But still, iG.V, they are staying on top in terms of numbers.
Yeah, holding their own, holding their high ground. That's how you stay in this game if you're in their shoes right now. You know, Lone Druid, he's going to be able to amp things up if he can just get another item or two. Get a BKB, get it thrown a Scotty or something.
And if Paparazzi can find a pick-off as well, that would be huge. But Raven, obviously, not really the target.
Yeah.
Little too
Perhaps the
slippery.
Timbersaw. If you can get that Silver Edge onto him, although it looks like it will be on cooldown for 5 more seconds, so they'll have to wait. And there's a lot of Dire Heroes coming their way.
Yeah, there's a lot of TNC coming through. Paparazzi's got to be careful. Immediately trying to get himself out. Get the pounce in. Paparazzi pops the BKB. Looking to run. Has Shadow Dance in 5 seconds, and with the Stampede, he will be all right. So get the Slark out of there. TNC moving into position, though, to put some pressure on this top lane.
Yeah, they may just go for that Shrine as well, now that it is exposed thanks to taking the tier 3 towers. But for now, they want this outer tower, and yeah, not quite the outcome they were hoping for with that high ground push. Good job again. Burst down the Slardar. I think that is really the best approach to these fights, which is kill that key initiation factor and also the vision hero. The corrosive haze in the fight is what gets to the lone druid more than anyone. Even a hero like Rubik is allowed to do a lot more with the stolen Shikuchi if he's not hazed up. So made good work ignoring the Weaver. Weaver's damage output with this Skadi Mjolnir is not something where you're instantly melting to it. It's not like some Deso Bloodthorn type build where he's just 3 or 4 shotting people. It is a much tankier build, but as a result, he can be ignored when he had the Aegis. Save him for last. They took the Aegis for, like, pretty cheaply, and then just were able to ignore Raven until the rest of his team were dead.
Interesting that Paparazzi seemingly he's going back for the Echo Saber after the BKB and completed Silver Edge. I mean, would you have liked to see a bigger item, or do you feel like a smaller item that they can get sooner for the fights is understandable?
It's understandable, just because they feel like they're under a lot of pressure. They need whatever they can get now, but I'd also like to have seen like a straight Skadi or something.
Yeah.
But
maybe even a bit,
like,
bit more control of a Basher or such.
Yeah, Basher actually sounds better, because I think Skadi like good against like other right-click heroes to kite them around, but Weaver, you're not going to kite around with a Skadi because he's got Shikuchi. Doesn't help against the Timbersaw because he's not a right-clicking hero. He's got Timber Chain for mobility, so it's not really an amazing Skadi game, even though the stats are nice. So that's where, yeah, the Basher you mentioned or the Echo Saber as a cheap option could be good. But yeah, the Basher seems like the big one that could make a nice little difference this game. If you initiate something like a Weaver, having a Bash to follow it up, a bit of extra lockdown could be a difference maker.
And of course, I guess as well, as long as iG.V can hold at this stage, the later this goes, you know, late game Slark, Lone Druid is probably going to beat what TNC have in terms of late game core themselves. And well, top lane, Tim's called out.
Lost
and
a gem.
TNC, they're starting to slip a bit, gods.
Yeah, that was a freebie. Just farming a bit too aggressively in lane. Centaur caught him with a Blink Yules. It was a good play from him, because I think Tim's is thinking, all right, if Centaur comes to Blink stun me, I'm faster. Like, he's thinking in his head, like, he knows his reaction time, and he's also ready for it to Blink dodge the Centaur stun, but the Yules is instant, so good call from Injuly to go for the Yules lift rather than for the Blink stun, and punishes some greedy Earth Spirit play in that top lane. It looked like Tim's was just trying to get like a level 18 or something up there. Loses a gem. That's a pretty big gold swing at this stage of the game. It's still a even-ish game with the racks not being claimed just yet for TNC.
Kuku trying to put a bit of split push pressure down on the bottom. Does have Aghanim's complete.
Yeah, so the longer the game goes, it does get better for iG.V if they can keep picking up items. And if they keep getting kills like this, they sure as hell will.
They're getting
the
pickoff after pickoff. TNC are going to still try and fight. They'll jump in with the crush. Hanacog comes out. Paparazzi popping the shadow dance. Looks to focus towards the Slardar. Tims comes in with the silence. BKB's popped by Paparazzi. Up to the high ground. He has to be careful here. BKB and shadow dance are going to be off cooldown, and a fantastic boulder smash will set up for the kill. And he did go all in on the purchase. So iG.V 3 down, and they don't have buybacks here, gods. This could be pretty painful for a team that was starting to claw their way back in.
Yeah, they really were, and they just got a bit too overzealous there, chasing down, knowing that they'd taken the gem and had the Earth Spirit dead. They wanted to keep on fighting, but Tims respawns decently fast and just comes back in and says, hello. So Slark dead for 60. That is a tough respawn to have to stomach right now, considering you don't have those buybacks, and at least one lane of racks is going to be claimed. If they want to press the issue, they definitely can get more. They don't know the buyback status, but they may be able to speculate based on that recent Echo Saber pickup.
TNC does have that few minutes of struggling to actually seize the base, but getting those pickoffs outside has just opened up absolutely massive areas of it to be taken down. 2 sets of racks out.
They can go for the third. They've still got 20 seconds. No Slark. The Centaur respawn's a little bit worrying, but I think no Slark is recent enough to go for at least a tier 3 tower.
They're sticking around. TNC, they know that they could go for this.
Weaver's got a butterfly, so he's got even more agi, more stats to go his way. He pushes even faster.
In July, turning onto the Weaver. Still a little bit of time before they have the Slark back out. Sakata getting jumped back on in return. Pots the BKB, tries to run, but the damage from Raven is too much. Lone Druid out for 30 seconds. TNC still sticking around, turning towards Paparazzi.
Timber just creating space so that Raven can get the racks.
In July, in again with a hoof stomp, catches out Raven, but a beautiful crush from 2 in return allows it to pop the Centaur. The top racks are falling. There'll be a buyback for Centaur Warrunner, but TNC have already done the damage that they needed to the base. Cuckoo immediately lifted up here by the telekinesis. Paparazzi tries to come in for a bit of a chip. The damage at the moment for the Slug, not too much. He needs to build up those essence shift stacks. TNC, they're building up their kills as they take the Centaur down. It's a dieback on Centaur. GG is called. TNC, 37 minutes in, take game 1. Rather convincingly, gods, if that as well. There was that one point where iG.V started to climb back in, but at the end of it, TNC were just miles ahead.
It was that one good high ground hold against the second Aegis where it felt like, okay, this is starting to get hopeful, but you could really see how perfectly iG.V had to play, because all it took was one little misstep where I think it was the fact they were coming back in the game that gave them this sense of confidence where it's like, oh, let's go fight, let's go take it to TNC. We just took a gem, we killed the Earth Spirit, and then they died. They don't have buybacks. They're kind of in a position where they can't afford to have buybacks because they were so item-starved. Like Centaur couldn't finish his Zags, Slark couldn't finish any items. So they're using every bit of money they can to buy items, and when you're in that position, all it takes is one mistake, a hero dies, doesn't have buyback, and suddenly game ends. So well played by TNC. That was very good laning. Raven on the Weaver.
Very nice Spirit, of course, as expected.
Yeah.
You know, not really coming as a surprise when we see Tim's getting his hands on it. But, I mean, do you think we can kind of consider that hero being taken out game 2? I mean, do you let that Earth Spirit get through again?
I think you just ban it. Yeah. Make him play something else. It's like, even though Earth Spirit isn't like a must-ban category of heroes right now, it's like, well, Tim's, he just did that, so. Yeah.
Well, we'll see, ladies and gentlemen, if indeed the Tim's Earth Spirit strikes again in game 2. But game 1 goes to TNC. Don't go anywhere, we'll have a short ad break, then back to the panel. We'll see you for more Dota 2.